think I'd be able to get it up like today, right now. I don't think it's going anywhere.
I don't think so.
It's here forever.
Thank you. It was a very nice, sunny Sunday morning. They were doing registration at Battlefield Harley. I helped with the registration. My son came and stood next to me. And my husband called kickstands up, which means you get on your bike, they're ready to roll. In our family, you don't get on the bike and you don't go to work without first a hug and a kiss to me. He started to walk away, and I called him back and told him, you know the rules. And he kind of looked at me like I was embarrassing him. And one of the bikers told him, don't ever be ashamed to kiss your mama. And he said, I'm not. And I got the biggest bone-crushing hug I think I ever got. And I said to him, I love you. He says, I love you too, Mama. I'll see you at the end of the ride. And I left. I was supposed to go to the end of the ride at the picnic. I got to the park and just sat down and my phone rang. It was my husband telling me, you need to come to Heidlersburg. There was an accident. Then I found out that my husband had worked on our son. He gave him mouth to mouth. I got to the scene, got out of my car and started running to my husband. He met me, grabbed me by the shoulders and told me, you gave him life, I gave him his last breath of life.
The greatest strength of law enforcement is that it's a family that supports and protects each other in life and grieves for and honors the memory of those in death.
3 months, 4 months before he was killed, we were standing at the National Law Enforcement Memorial for the candlelight vigil, and the families started coming in. I was in between my husband and my son. Then I realized we didn't have a PA chapter. So we actually started the PA chapter of COPS before our son was killed. PA COPS stands for Pennsylvania Concerns of Police Survivors. I'm the executive director.
We have an update on a shooting we've been telling you about in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Let's listen into this press conference.
At a scene where there was a police-involved shooting.
The day you called, I didn't have the time to talk to you. We had lost one of our U.S. deputy marshals.
And other news this noon, a U.S. Marshal has been killed in a police-involved shooting in Harrisburg.
My husband was on the U.S. Marshals Task Force. My first reaction was, that's my husband's unit. He wasn't with them that day. It wasn't even 5 minutes later, I had gotten a call from one of the guys on that force asking me to please come down to Harrisburg Hospital. I care. I know the support I got, and one particular mom, I wouldn't be sitting here. I came to the point about 3 months, 4 months after Mike was killed that I wanted to end the pain I was in. I actually went and got one of my husband's guns and seriously contemplated suicide. And then remembered, one of the moms told me, grab my hand, I will pull you up. And I went down and called her and cried, screamed for an hour and a half. And the woman never said a word except, I get it, I understand. And after about an hour and a half, I was okay. I just needed that understanding of what I was going through. And that's what I want to do. If I could help one survivor get over that hill and pull them out of the deep hole I was in, then I succeeded. And that's what matters to me. The memorial in DC, all the officers killed in the line of duty are put onto that wall. The first time I saw Mike's name there, it took me to my knees. It is the most peaceful and comforting place to be. I can sit across from his name on the piano for hours and just think about him. And strange as it sounds, that's one of my favorite places to go. Especially with the way the wall is built in a semicircle. You sit there and you feel like you're surrounded by loving heroes. And it's a fear all survivors have, is that our officers are going to be forgotten. I brought the radio box that was on my son's bike. It was the only thing that had really survived the accident intact. And it's the only part of something he loved to do so much, was to be a motor officer. So it has not only a sentimental value, but something that was him. I want people to remember. I want them to see. And if somebody can look at that radio box, that maybe it'll make them think twice when they pass the police officer on the road making a traffic stop. When they see a motorcycle ride coming past them that has an escort, to move over, slow down, and move over. When I look at these walls, I see heroes, and that they're always remembered, never forgotten.